Welcome to Creator to Leader. Are you struggling to connect with your ideal customers online? Are you confused about the most effective way to market your business? If you're ready to become the go-to expert in your industry and stand out from the crowd, this podcast is for you. Hey, I'm Eugenia. That's Eugenia in Spanish, but you can call me E. My mission is to help entrepreneurs stand out online so that they can grow their businesses. I do this through comprehensive marketing strategies, impactful content plans, and storytelling leadership. We both know you are running on caffeine and big dreams, so let's dive right in. Welcome to another episode of the Creator to Leader podcast, and let me tell you, the way God works, it's interesting because I plan my episodes, like I plan 10 to 12 episodes at once, and then I create the outlines individually. So these past couple of weeks have been insane, to say the least. So hold and behold, I opened my task to create the outline for this episode that you're listening to right now. And oh, surprise, it was all about making marketing fun and overcoming the boredom or the that we get with marketing sometimes. And talk about perfect timing. I feel like that's how in tune I am with my podcast, that I know the episodes that I'm going to need to write depending on my mood. And I think like I'm in the perfect mood for this episode because I love marketing. I really, really do. Marketing is fun and it gets to be so creative. And when you are passionate about what you are doing and about your business, it's really exciting. Like literally marketing is telling the world about your message, about your business. So it is amazing. It is fun. But also we need to come to terms with the fact that there are processes in marketing. Like marketing involves processes and it involves some rinse and repeat and some type of routine to make it work. And that's why for creatives, sometimes it can get challenging, it can get boring because we tend to get a little bit of shiny object syndrome super easily. Because we think of a new initiative, we ideate it, we get creative, and really we feel like we are in this playground, right? Where everything is possible. We get to do our thing, and then comes the big bad marketing guide with maintenance time, consistency, rinsing and repeating for months, sometimes years, because in reality, marketing works also through repetition. Like it's not a one-time thing. And that's when we get bored. That's when don't want to do it anymore. And I remember when I was a podcast manager, that was a huge constant. I would get clients in the beginning so excited to get their podcasts out. They would do their homework. They would be so freaking joyful with the podcast they were creating. And then when it was time to maintain it, they were like, no, I'm done. I just wanted to launch a podcast because the maintenance part gets to be repetitive. And that's the number one reason I have found in my years working with creatives in so many industries that marketing gets boring for creatives. And they end up dropping the ball with the thing that they were so excited only a few weeks ago. Or they get burned out because they love the thing, but now that they have to do the thing over and over, it just is not as exciting as it once was. So if the problem is the repetitive nature of marketing efforts, we really need to find ways to keep it fresh and exciting. And that's what I am bringing to you today in this espresso episode. 3 ways to keep your marketing fun. Number 1 is to change the context of the process. And this is about where you do it. So we have the context and we have the content, meaning we have the place where we do it, everything that surrounds how we do the thing, and then we have the system in place. What comes first? What comes second? What are we using? And sometimes when we get bored, we feel like we need to reinvent the wheel. We want to have a new system. We want to put in place a new process. And that sets us back so much because that also ends up hurting the output of what we're doing. So what I'm suggesting is that you implement a better way, and that is changing the context, the things that surround the way you create. That can be as obvious as going to a coffee shop to create the content, write the captions, just changing your environment for a week, or maybe one day of the week you start trying different coffee shops or even a different room in your house if that's something that's available to you. Changing the physical location where you do your marketing can make it fresh, can make it exciting because your brain starts looking for something new around it. But it can also be super simple, and that's what I did today. I usually write the outlines for my episodes on my computer, like I type them out. And today, because, I already told you my mood getting into this episode, or right now I'm really happy. But as I was planning this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. So the first thing I did was changing my context. For this particular episode, I wrote the outline in my journal. Like I journal the episode. And that means that the outline looks a little bit different and the way I'm recording it feels a little bit different. So that's making it feel new and fresh and exciting. Will I be doing this every single week? I don't know. But this time it just got me out of the funk and it made me excited to write and record this episode. Number 2 is check if you like your content or if you're only talking about the things that you think you need to be talking about. And this is obvious, but it is so big. Like we get into these pillars or structures, and that's what we think we have to say in order to have success or grow our social media or make sales. And we get to a point where we just don't like that anymore. And we keep talking about it and forcing ourselves to show up in that way or with that content. And that's not where our brand is going anymore. And that's not the way we are feeling, creating the content anymore. Something huge that happens a lot is around educational content, because we have been told so many times that we have to provide value, share tips and tricks, like make it very, valuable for the consumer. And we a lot of times get into this route of what can I teach? What's a tip? What's a trick? And sometimes we're in seasons of just being encourager. Sometimes we are in seasons of empathizing with our ideal audience and letting them know that we see them, we understand them, and we see a different way. Maybe there are other ways of sharing your work and sharing your business other than just educational content. Maybe you want to share a lot of behind the scenes and make project updates and share, hey, this is what I've been working on and this is what I did last week. And that's going to be different for different industries, because different industries and different entrepreneurs can share different details. But look at your content and consider, are you liking the things that you are talking about? Are you liking what you are creating? Number 3, very similar but completely different, is check if you like you in your content, like yourself. Are you being true to who you are? Or are you trying to show up as this version of who you think that you should be? And note it, I said should, not who you want. Because there's this idea of having and cultivating this version of yourself that shows up in a specific way for a specific situation. And I've heard this a lot, probably you have also online, that Beyonce, she has Sasha Fierce. And Sasha Fierce is her alter ego, the personality that shows up during concerts and wears boots and it's explosive and it's energetic and super confident. And that's a version of her, that's a version of Beyonce that she loves and she's excited to show during concerts. She's not doing it because she thinks that she has to do it in order to be liked. So how do you know if you are doing it because it is the version of you that you want to show to the world, or is it because are you trying to be liked? It usually comes down to, am I doing it because I think that who I am is not enough? Usually that is the root. In my experience, so many clients, that is usually the case. Oh, I have to do this because my life is boring, or my personality is this, or I get a lot of, oh, I wish I was as XYZ as you, or oh my gosh, you look so effortless on your Instagram. And the reason that I look effortless, if you wish, is because I've spent such a long time trying too hard. I got freaking tired, and now my personality really doesn't take effort to show up. It is a version that's a little bit more energetic for sure, but it is real to me, and I am excited to show up in a way that's more energetic and always going for my best mood, because I respect your time and I respect your attention and I want to give you the best of me. So it's very different than just showing up because, oh, I'm going to show up this way because if not, you're not going to like me. I already did this for so long, like changing my personality, and I could do a whole episode about it. But the point is, do you like the person that you are showing up as in your content? And maybe you have changed, because that also happens. Maybe you were this educator and you really loved to show up in that way, very serious and matter of fact, and you were thriving with ideas and you loved it and you stayed consistent for a while, and suddenly you are starting to get bored of that and you're thinking, oh, it's marketing. Maybe you have changed. Maybe in this season of your business, you want to show up a different side of you, right? Take the time to analyze if the person that's on social is someone that you like. And I could go with so many examples, like the person who doesn't like showing their kids on stories and they feel like they have to, and they start resenting social media because, oh, I have to show up this version of my life that I don't want to. But then that's not authentic to you. Versus someone else who's super freaking excited to show their kids in every single story. And that's something they love. I personally love doing lifestyle content. It is really creative to me, really inspiring. But that doesn't mean that someone else is going to feel the same way. And yes, this goes or can go hand in hand with the type of content you are creating, but also because I want to show that side of me that's more personal, more day to day. And it is who I am in this season of my life versus a very super structured educator, which I am. In this podcast, I am the most educator version of me that you'll ever see. But for the most part, in other areas, I am more relaxed, and that is okay. So that's it, my love. Really, if you introduce any of these changes, you are going to see how you're going to start having fun with your marketing again. And if you want to go deeper and lead your next marketing campaign from that place of creativity and fun, my upcoming one-on-one program, Lead Your Launch, is going to be perfect for you. Because in 4 weeks, we're going to map out the content and the strategy for your next marketing campaign. Because here's the thing, you created your offers from a place of purpose and creativity and inspiration. And it's not fair that then when it's time to sell them, you have to turn into almost robotic person, feel like you need to fit in a box and do everything by the book, quote unquote, the book. It is not fair. Because you are full of personality and full of creativity, and that's the way you deserve to sell your services. And that's exactly why I created Lead Your Launch, because I want to help you show up as the leader of your brand during your launch with a content strategy that's, yes, strategic, that's, yes, optimized for conversions, for sales, but that takes into consideration who you are as a person, who you are as a creative. It doesn't matter if you're a copywriter or a financial coach. If you are a creative entrepreneur, if you know that you crave creativity, this is going to be the program for you. You're going to have the most amazing, fun, creative experience with your content during your next launch. And I'm right now working through my beta testers for this program, so I have the lowest price. So if you go to leadyourlaunch.com and you sign up for the waitlist, you're going to have serious savings, because I want to take this through as many people as possible before the big launch later this year. And I want you to be one of those people. If you've been resonating with this, Lead Your Launch is going to be perfect. So go to leadyourlaunch.com and sign up for the waitlist. I cannot wait to see you there. And I hope you implement these changes. Let me know how it goes. I'm really excited for you. See you soon. Un beso. I hope you loved this episode. If you connected with the podcast in some way, please rate it and review it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That is the #1 way you can support the show. And because sharing is caring, share it with a fellow entrepreneur wanting to become a leader, not just a creator. I am so grateful for you. I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a DM over to @eugenia.woo. That's @EUGENIA.WOO. And if you only send me a microphone emoji, I will know that you stayed till the end. Thank you for listening. See you soon.